that. But those guys played extremely hard over there. Obviously, we suffered their tragic loss last week. Tried to find the player afterwards, but I guess he didn't make the trip. So our thoughts are with them. As far as us, I'm excited that it finished that way. You know, at first I would have thought it was better to close it out, obviously, and form an offense and pick up a first down there. But I think this was important for this team. The energy in that locker room, the energy on the sideline. Obviously, I wish we wouldn't have ran out on the field, so we would have got the penalty there. But that energy and that emotion brings the team together. So wins like this sometimes can be really special. It starts you on a run. And so I'm actually glad the way it happened. And I'm proud of our players. That was some execution there at the end. It isn't easy to do. You know, in that, as they sprinted on their team late, we had to sub at defensive lineman to get offensive lineman in like Matt Khalil so that we could block that kick. So really proud of our guys for mastering that situation there.
Coach, last week you made a comment at the end of the game that you've already apologized for. You said it was taken out of context. Do you think, though, it motivated your team to come out even more so today?
I don't know that. You know, I talked to them about it, make sure that they knew what the comment was, not what was written. You know, that only, I never used the word only, but they're fine. I talked to them about it to make sure, you know, they understood what I meant by it. But I thought our guys, you know, came out good again. You know, just like the week before, and we're there. We're playing really well in all phases of the game. We just don't put people away. You know, 2 weeks in a row now. But it's a win to build on. We're 2-0. We're in first place in the South, and so. That's the goal always, and I think we stayed relatively healthy.
Did you anticipate playing Mark as much as you did?
I kind of thought it would be that type of game, really, because they're so good on defense. This is a really, really good front seven, really powerful, and they just keep rotating defensive linemen in there. Obviously, that gave us issues at times today, you know, with our guards in the matchup. So I thought it would probably be a Mark Tyler type of game. I knew he wouldn't start, but I thought by the end of it he'd have more carries. And then two things happened. It was that type of game, you know, where it was 3-4 yards, cloud of dust at times. And then with DJ putting the ball on the ground, obviously that made an easy decision at that time that we were going to go with Mark and Dylan.
What did he show you to get back on the field today? What did he have to go through since then?
Well, it was pretty neat, you know, really, to walk down the tunnel with him before the game and happened to be next to him, gave him a hug, and just told him how proud of him I was. He went through a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of stuff that people don't know, and you know, I'm just really proud of him and that he could come back and have a first game like this and take care of the ball. It's a pretty good story.
Why do you think in the second half we didn't score more points again this week than last week?
I don't know, same thing. You know, if you turn the ball over, if you don't really finish drives. So, once again, the freshmen showed up, and that it happened again. You know, Xavier puts the ball on the ground, DJ puts the ball on the ground. Marquise has the great catch on the slant that's going to kind of, you know, open the game up at that point. I think a 25-yard, 30-yard catch, and he covered up the tight end. You know, so freshman mistakes showed up there, and unfortunately, you can't have those if you want to put somebody away.
Did you, on that, your last possession, looked like you were considering going for it? Was that 4-1, or did you have any? Did you know you were going to push your punt?
No, we were going to punt there. You're talking about the second to last one, we're in their territory, or the last one of the game?
The second to last.
Where we sneaked it.
Right.
Yeah, I've never seen that penalty on a sneak. So usually you sneak, you don't get it, you don't go back 15 yards. So it would have been an interesting decision there because our kicker was kicking really well. Knowing me, I probably would have went for it, you know, because it would have been inches there, and so you know, I would have put it in our players' hands.
And then on the last possession, when it was called that you guys held them by a couple inches, and then they replayed it, were you guys trying to get that snap off beforehand?
The head coach was. The quarterback to your right there was just celebrating his win over there. It really wasn't us on the line, but you can ask him next. It is his birthday, though. It'll be nice, his birthday.
Do you sort of feel like this game would never end? I mean, there was the measurement thing took a long time. There was a big discussion after the return on the field goal.
Yeah, it did kind of seem like forever. You know, you kept really hoping for a play to end the game. You know, just a significant play or another first down that would end the game. And unfortunately, we'd have stuff happen. We dropped the game. And we had a lot of significant plays that, you know, either were called back or something happened. You know, including, you know, a big time sack for about 15 yards, I think. You know, and then Mikkel had a defensive holding on it.
How would you compare the offensive line from last week to this week?
It's kind of tough without watching the film. I think for the most part, we did some good things. We had some matchup issues. That's a great defensive line. I think Starr and I think number 90 are NFL guys. And so, but, Matt didn't get hit very much. We did screw up, a protection on one and let the corner come where he got hit on it. Maybe one of them took an audible out of it time because the play clock was running down the sack on the field pressure. So I think for the most part, they did all right.
What exactly happened to Martin Coleman?
Martin came out and then he came back in. And I don't even know what it was. And they thought he was going to be fine, and he came back out again. And I think that was a different injury.
What about the defense 2 weeks in a row, holding in the fourth quarter when they really had to?
Yeah, I mean that's why the way it ended up, I think, was very valuable for this team. There's so many questions around this team's ability to finish in those situations. Here they go again, and not only do they stop them, then you think the game's over, and we can't make a first down, so they have to go out again. And so that mentality of it doesn't matter how many times you have to go out there, you just keep stopping them. Was really good to see, and then felt like they stopped them again, and then a remeasurement. So it's good. It's one to build on.
The defense line was kind of a charge game, and we talked about their progress and their successful performance.
Yeah, I thought the defensive line played really well today. I think at halftime they had 17 yards rushing. So we were playing really well, even though we didn't have any sacks at half. We were getting there, and we were very close to him. Their quarterback, give him credit now, he played a lot better this week than he did a week ago. And I think you can see he's hurt. He's playing through an injury. You can see by the way he's throwing the ball, he's changed how he's throwing it. He doesn't look like the guy a year ago, but he's tough, and he got rid of the ball. There could have been a lot of sacks in that game, with an inexperienced quarterback.
How did two more
That
questions for Coach?
a lot of coaches would have turned their back on him. Why didn't you?
I just love those stories. Those are the hidden stories in college football. There's so much negativity written about all the schools and scandals and whatever, all those things that you read all off season. And there's stories like this, stories like Mark coming back, battling some issues, that obviously we don't get into for his own reasons, but it's just a cool story when kids make it like that. Just like Curtis McNeil, Curtis was 2 seconds from the street, and now he's on pace to graduate, so it's pretty cool.
How do you
angry
view?
when it first happened? You were pretty angry, right?
Sure, I was. Yeah, I was angry with him because he had some chances and he had some, he'd been told a number of times. But the most important thing with Mark was to see him never make an excuse. He knew he was wrong. He felt terrible. At one point he said, he didn't even know if he wanted to play necessarily and come back because he felt so bad for the Trojan family and what he did that night. So it's a great story.
Thank you.